All righty. We still seem to be missing a few people. Remember, everyone, class starts at 10:10 now, not 10:15. I have difficulty myself, so I don't blame anyone, but try and get in by 10:10. There's Sophia again. Some people inside the building are having internet issues. Hopefully I'll stay solid. Okay, I've started looking at some of the videos. A couple of them I've gotten in. Getting into the crazy AP digital portfolio is probably even more difficult for me than for you. It did seem to start working though. Like I could not access it last class. It does seem to be available for uploads. Let's go through the basics, do our warm up, and then I might show everyone what that interface looks like. And they have a new thing where it can show student view. So maybe we'll try and look at that. Basically, we are just doing our same standard day. We are going to be going into breakout rooms. You'll be working on your projects. So our warm up is in the AP classroom. We are going to work on the create task, the videos and PDF of your program code. All right. We're noticing with the videos, I think it's from Screencastify, they seem a little soft in terms of reading small font text. We don't think that is an issue. A question is, and I just haven't been in there to use it. Hang on. Is there a way to improve the resolution? Most of my videos are not coming in at a minute. So far, they're about 30 seconds. So the idea that you might be able to increase your resolution a little and still stay under 30 megabytes. Talking with Ms. Rudnick, she's like a 30 megabyte file for a minute is never going to be an incredibly high quality file, right? Because we're using lossy compression and all that good stuff. So that's what I'm observing. So if there's any way that you can make your thing a little crisper, that's great. If not, we think they are passable. We are working on progress check 4, making the video for your program. Let me know if you're having difficulty, all right? What is due? Our progress checks 3 and 4. 4 was due last Tuesday, but we still have a whole nother week to work on this, okay? So let me know if you're having trouble. Let me know if you need any advice on the technical side. I can't talk to you about your create task, but I can talk about anything else. I can talk about the requirements. I can talk about anything that we've done. Again, couching things in terms of the hackathon seems to be the easiest way to talk about something related, potentially to your app. But we would be talking about the hackathon, a past assignment, which just happened to be very similar in terms of execution. All right, so in the end, by the end of next week, you're going to need to have your create performance task video, right? Less than 30 megabytes, less than a minute. Your program code as a PDF that is legible, and your written responses. They all need to be submitted into that digital portfolio by May 14th so we can check them. All right. Ideally, you are submitting your videos in there, but I'm finding it very difficult to see them. So you might want to, and I hate to do this, but you might want to just send me a video, a link to your video by email. Let's see if I can get around in the breakout rooms and look at some. It's a little tricky and I haven't done this before, so we're just sort of figuring out what works. Look, there's Noah. All right. Our goal or objective is that you will be able to create a video of your program that fulfills the requirements of the AP submission. Okay. Any questions, issues, problems that we can address right off the bat? Anybody still not have an idea? Anybody still not have a user interface or code? I can go back through and double check those. Okay. Somebody's asking, what are the requirements for how the app looks? Basically, what I say is please go to the AP. Let me stop sharing for a moment. And I'm going to get in here. I have the user guide. Let me just see if I can get to the link in the AP. Don't want the digital portfolio. Tools. Oh, come on. Look, we've got Ethan. Hang on. I'll show you the version I have. I'm hoping to get the link to it out of the actual AP site right now so I can give you. Why is it not showing me the student guide? All right, anyway, I don't want to get stuck on this. Let me bring up the guide that I have and I will show you that it is out there in the AP site. Again, I can explain what it is, but I am always deathly afraid of giving you the wrong information since the AP changes this every year. So the best thing to do is to look on the AP College Board site. Okay, hang on, here are the AP instructions. So it's called the AP CSP Student Task Directions. Let me see if I can pull this up now that I have the actual name. Sorry, this is taking a little bit, but I think it could help. Not the due date. All right, well, I am still not seeing it. So let me just share what I've got and I will show you the important part. All right, let's get back in here. Okay, so this is what you want. And I swear we've given you this. Oh, I believe this is linked in your survival guide and also at the start of Unit 8. Student handout. All right, if you go down to page 3, performance task, general requirements. You get the 12 hours. You need your final program code created independently or collaboratively. That is saying it is true pairs programming. Video displays the running of your program and demonstrates functionality you developed, created independently. Written response to all prompts in the performance task, created independently. Your code can be done collaboratively. The video and the response need to be independent. In theory, your code with your partner can be identical, but you will both describe it differently because you're doing your own written response. Submission requirements, all right? Program code. Submit one PDF file. Oh no, that's the program code. Hang on. Program code. All right, so program code. You know, where's the, so those, program code, 4, 5. So video, written responses. Why am I not seeing what I want? Plagiarism, preparing. I'm so sorry. Oh, you got your reference sheet. I don't think you need this. Why am I not seeing that there's a better description of it? Sorry, this is being such a boondoggle. Responses. Okay, so let's just go through it. So it's PDF file, includes comments and acknowledgments for any part of the program submitted that is not written by you, someone other than you. Your program must include student-developed program code that contains the following: instructions for input from one of the following: the user, a device, an online data stream, a file. Use at least one list or collection type to represent a collection of data that is stored and used to manage program complexity and help fulfill the program's purpose. Important, data abstraction must make the program easier to develop. Alternatives would be more complex or easier to maintain. Future changes to size of the list would otherwise require significant modifications. Make sure to use list length -1, right? Do not give them, I less than 20. At least one procedure that contributes to the program's intended purpose, where you have defined the procedure's name, the return type if necessary, one or more parameters. Implementation of built-in or existing procedures or language structures such as event handlers or main methods are not considered student developed. You need to put a comment on those. An algorithm that includes sequencing, selection, and iteration that is in the body of the selected procedure calls to your student-developed procedure. Procedure is just your algorithm. Don't be confused by that. Instructions for output, tactile, audible, visual, or textual. Most of you are probably text, based on input and program functionality. They're saying here, when you do print your code, make sure that it is 10-point or larger. Okay? Those are the real instructions from the AP College Board. All right? My interpretation of that is that this is exactly the same as your hackathon. There is no screen requirement, and you need a parameter. Those are the basic differences. But look at the College Board, okay? I don't want to be blamed for anyone's mistakes, so just make sure to go to the source and that everything is working. I think everyone understands what we're trying to do. All right, I'm in the right place? No, I'm not. Oh, come on, why aren't I there? All right. You okay? You slowly dying over there? Poor thing. No, and all the oak trees are in bloom. Okay, so we are in Unit 8, Lesson 3, Create PT, Complete the Task. All right, if you are creating the PDF of your program code, check out page 11 in the survival guide. Don't forget, the survival guide has some great information for you, particularly at this stage where things are starting to get finished. It has rubrics. It has ways to check your stuff. Make sure you're including everything, all right? So this is saying go to page 11. Let's shoot up here. Okay, this is again giving you what your program code needs to be. Output, tactile, audible, visual, user, including user actions that trigger events, a device or a file. Use at least one list or collection type. Represent a collection of data related to the program's purpose. Development of at least one procedure that uses one or more parameters to accomplish the program's intended purpose. That implements an algorithm that includes sequencing, selection, and iteration. Include comments and acknowledgments for anything you did not create. Create a PDF that contains all your program code. Here are the instructions for creating your PDF. For resources on how to make a PDF of your program code, head to Studio to this link. Here's the important thing to remember. Avoid plagiarism. If you fail to cite the source of any code that you or your partner didn't write, you will automatically get a 0 on the entire task. So if you have a question in your mind, whether something needs a comment, you just slap that comment on there. You are never going to be penalized for a comment. You are going to be penalized for the lack of one. If it is something AP or whatever feels you could not have developed yourself. Make sure to use comments to cite any code that you or your partner did not write. This algorithm for finding the middle value in a list taken from HTTPS, Stack Overflow. All I can say is I do not believe that your algorithm is supposed to have anything in it that you did not create yourself or your partner. Image used in this app came from, and then the URL. One bird image dash the URL. One flower image, the path. This is not legally licensing you to use this, but you are acknowledging that you are using third-party products. Okay, making your PDF. Use CodePrint to make a PDF of your program. It's designed specifically for the Create PT. You can find the link above. Let's click it. All right. A one-stop shopping browser tool to prepare your code to submit to the AP CSP performance test. If you can print a PDF from your browser, this should be everything you need. So type or paste your code into the box below. Add titles if you like. Click this button, Prettify. If you don't see the code being laid out prettily below. Oh, okay. So basically, you're going to copy your code and you're going to drop it in here. If it looks fine, you should be good. If it looks jumbly for some reason, in theory, there is a Prettify button, which is going to organize your code. Project title, I would put your name and AP CSP create task. Set the font size and draw shapes on the code. I don't know what draw shapes on the code is for. 3, hide the controls. 4, print to PDF from browser. Okay, your font size needs to be at least 10 point. I would make it 12 if that works. If you have a really long program, 10 point might be better. Okay. So one of the reasons they are asking you to do this is so that your code comes out with numbers on it. It is going to be important for you answering your written response that you can look at your code numbers, because you are going to be commenting on different lines of code. They are going to be asking you for specific lines. All right? Does that all make sense? Hang on. What are the requirements? When we submit the video in AP Classroom, will we be able to resubmit it? I believe yes. I mean, again, I am just learning about, you are not submitting your video in the AP Classroom, by the way. You are submitting your video in the AP Digital Portfolio. Let me type that in. You need to search for this on your computer. It is different than the classroom. Okay, it's the AP Digital Portfolio. All right, I will take a quick look at that with you too. I'm sorry this is taking a lot of time. But what this is going to do is you're just going to copy and paste your text in. You're going to give it a name, set your font type, and then you're going to print, and you're going to print a PDF. And it should turn out like this. All right. So what's important about that is getting the numbers on your code, because when you copy your code out of your app, it is not going to have numbers. Like, see this? There are no numbers here. The numbers come from this program. All righty, let's get back here. There's our video, blah, blah, blah. We know that. Let's quickly just see what else we're doing here. If you are starting the written responses, check out page 12 to 15 in the survival guide. All right, so here we are on 11. Oh, look, there's Miranda. I'm going to take a quick sip as I am getting parched. All right, so page 12 to 15. Written responses. So here is a template. This in theory is the code.org template. I believe there is another template on the AP site. I believe that it is fine to use the code.org template. This is it right here. Okay, but this is the link. Whoops. Okay, so I think this is probably those instructions that I just had. Okay, so right here in your Create PT written response is a link to the student handouts. That's what I was looking at to get our instructions on what exactly the requirements are. So that is here. We lost Union. Okay, so that is good to know. 12 to 15. So let's come back here. All right. So right at the top of 12 is the template for your written responses. This goes through every one of your responses. Describe the overall purpose of the program. The purpose is the intended goal or objective. I'm not going to go through all these, but what is great is just reading the advice on these. It goes through each question and then it gives you a little advice. Gee, wouldn't it be nice if you knew how to do this properly? Second program, segment must show data in the same list being processed, such as creating new data from an existing data or accessing multiple elements in the list as part of fulfilling the program's seek. identifies the name of the list being processed. Do not forget to give them the name of your list. Do not give them the name of your table. The table is the big thing. Your list is a row out of that table. They do not want to hear that you are doing like, a table. It is a list they are asking you for. Okay, so then identifies the data contained in the list, represented in your program, explains how you selected list, manages complexity. 3C, your program code sections. This is all good information. You should really read through this. I don't quite know why. I swear I had one of these that had yellow highlight on it. But this is all going to help you with your written response. The written response is the primary thing you are being graded on. So you need to make sure it is appropriate, all right? All right, then we're back into here. So let me just take a moment and go. All right, so I'm on this fabulous thing. I am just going to type in AP Digital Portfolio in my search bar, right? I hit that. Look, AP Digital Portfolio College Board. All right, let's go to that. Of course, it wants me to sign in. I've never had something sign me in more than the crazy College Board. Okay, so this is me. When I look at my classes, I have to go to progress. So this is the overview. It talks about managing stuff. When I look at progress, I can see everyone and what you have submitted, which is not a lot yet, but that's to be expected. See, a couple people have put in videos. Some people have 3, some have 2. But the weird thing is, and I am just learning about this, like I cannot access your videos by clicking on them. So what I have to do is go to create. In create, and this is, I believe, where you guys will do this. In theory, there is a button that lets me look at this in student view. Let's look at the overview of create. This goes through your requirements. So program code. Okay, and then this is the submissions. So student submissions. The weird thing is, I can't tell who's turned anything in from this. I've got to go to that other page to look at it. So I know, I think Uni has something in here. Hang on. So you guys are just going to be uploading in here. When I look, I get this file upload and submission. Maybe. Okay. So it says, download latest. It's all very, see, it says uploaded this video. I tried to do this last night and it didn't work. There we are. Okay, so this isn't the video though, this is the code. Okay, but see how beautiful that is? Look at that nice code. So I am learning about this and I will get you updates. Student handouts. I was just trying to see if I could get into the student view. There in theory is a way to look at student view. But it is that sort of an interface that you're going to be uploading from there. And I would imagine that you certainly should be able to upload and download and change your stuff. So there's the program code. There is the video. And again, I think I have to look at each one individually. So this is really going to take a lot of time, which is crazy because we have the seniors are graduating, and we'll see how that all works. But this is basically what it looks like, okay? This is the AP digital portfolio. This is where you will be uploading your final projects, all right? And it is in the Create tab that you are making them. All right, now we're back to everything that you've already heard before. Start your sentence with a capital letter, end it with a period. Use element IDs that have unique names. Use screen names that have unique names. Use start screen in camel case, not screen one. Make sure your user interface is accessible. Check the colors, the spacing, the size of text. My biggest issue that I'm seeing is fuzzy text. As far as I can tell, we all feel that it will work. We do not think your video needs to be perfect, that all they're really looking at is your app functioning in the way that you describe, okay? But anything you can do for resolution is a help. 30 megabytes is not a lot, and they are definitely using lossy compression, so it is degrading the image. Here we are. What's our next one? Decide on what your functions will do. Make sure one function uses parameters, Boolean logic, loops, traverses a data set. Think about what they just said. You need to manage complexity in your program. You need to make sure if something changes, it's easy to change your program. Always use list length -1 for what the end of a list is, not a set number, okay? That just seems, it's like a driving school tip. Don't ever use a set number. Always do that because it manages that complexity. They seem to love managing complexity and abstractions. Remember to use comments, citing images, music from other sources, even if it's your own music. I recorded myself playing Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata. Put the variables at the top, put the functions at the bottom. On events are not functions. So making the video for the progress check, plan out and practice what you will do, show your program's functionality, use the share link from code.org so the name is not visible. Screencastify, Screencast-O-Matic are ways to do this. Ideally, you want, if your time is less than a minute for your video and the file size is less than 30 megabytes, and it seems like you can read everything, upload your video to the AP Digital Portfolio. Else, make a new video. We are actually meeting about how we're going to be working in the AP Portfolio. If you're loading it in there, I would just shoot me an email with it, with just your link. It is really a little difficult for me to get in and look at them. Not that we don't have to. So here we are, we're on day 10. We are going to have 2 more days next week, right? Our final check is going to be on Monday for the written response, okay? I'm going to be looking at written responses. I'll be going through the breakout rooms, looking at stuff today. What we're going to be doing after next week is reviewing the test. The test is long and mildly painful, but the bottom line is everyone will be a better student, be a better programmer for having taken the test, okay? That is universal. Right now, we are looking at your coding and your video. That's what I am checking for. Next is going to be your written response, and the final thing is going to be to submit. Okay. Questions, problems. Do on-event blocks need to be commented? Not. I believe what they are saying, and I can double check this, Micah. I appreciate you double checking these things. Hang on, let me go. So I believe videos and everything will be able to be resubmitted, because if we don't like it, you need to put up another one. I am just not exactly sure how to do it. If code was inspired by a previous project that you worked on, do you have to cite it? I assume yes. Technically, you are not supposed to be using code from any project that has already been graded. If that project was graded, it's a problem. Inspired, that seems like an interesting word. If your code is not identical to something from a previous project, I believe you are fine. That if it was inspired, you're doing something like you learned how to do in there, that should be fine. I think taking the code exactly from a previous project that has been graded cannot be done. Okay? We upload stuff. Do on-event blocks need to be commented? It's my understanding that they would not. I will try and double check on that. Because of that thing we just read, anything that's not yours should be commented. I believe they are referring to things like a turtle or things that have functions sort of built into them. So I don't think the standard coding blocks need to be commented. I will double check on that. All right. Anybody else? Any other issues? Let's get our breakout rooms going. Anybody else have questions? All right, it's 10:50. We will be done at 11:15. Here we go. I will assign people that need to be assigned. There they are. It's always the same. Period 2. I need come on. Oh. Hang on. Let me just get it. What can I do for you? Oh, go to the bathroom? Sure. I don't think anyone else is out. Right. Sorry, I'm muted. Sarah, Lamine, can I help you? Lamine, Sarah, you guys okay? All right, let me show you some. I mean, Canvas. Okay. Let's see. Well,
Good afternoon. This announcement is regarding the first shift of lunch. Math and world languages will go to the cafeteria. Resource and social studies will go to the main gym. Today, students can also eat outside at the bus loop by exiting through the Bulldog lobby. Once again, first shift is math and world languages to the cafeteria.
we're always second shift.
Social studies to the main gym. Also, teachers' emergency attendance folders are now in your mailbox. I'll pick them up. Thank you.
Kieran, have you done a video yet? all have to go. Let me, I think, is this the one that's at like line 45 or something? Any student advice is allowed. I'm just gonna quickly. We've got. Oh, shoot. All right. Closed rooms. We're done. Sorry. Always get caught up at the end of class. Hang on. I can hear everyone running away, which is just fine. Okay, team, class is over. Apologies, I did not open up the breakout room soon enough. Have yourself a great weekend. Hopefully we'll survive our fire drill. Oh, yes. Third period. Bye. That's all right. I have the easy way to solve it. Okay, everyone, we're all set. Sorry, I opened up the rooms late. I got caught up.
Thank you.
You're all free to
All
go.
right. Thank you.
Let me know if anyone's having trouble. Sophia, Miranda, all right, everyone's gone. Woohoo!